Okay, a very good morning to all the students of class 6. Welcome to our social science history class. So students, today we are going to discuss the last subunit of chapter number 5 of your history book. Okay, it is a closer look Bajji, and the name of the kingdom is Bajji, and it is in page number 61 and 62 in your old NCERT book. Okay, so someone tell me the new page number of the new NCERT book. I think it probably 53 or 54. Yes, it is 53 in new book. Okay, '53 in new book. So open that page and follow. That you know in previous class about the Magadha. Magadha was one of the most powerful Mahajanapada exist at the time, 2500 years ago. Now today we are going to discuss another type of Mahajanapada that is not ruled by any king or ruler such as Ajatasattu or Bimbisara. So this kingdom, this is not a kingdom, it is a Gana Sangha. Okay, Bajji with a capital of Vaishali, and the capital of Bajji is Vaishali, and it is situated in today's Bihar also. Okay, and it was a different form of government known as Gana Sangha. So what is Gana and Sangha? That the word Gana means in used for a group that has many members, are used for a group that has many members, and Sangha means organization or association. It is mean Sangha. So it used for a group that has many members and means organization or association. So in a Gana or Sangha, there were not one but many rulers, and sometimes even when thousands of men ruled together, each one was known as a Raja. Such as in today's India. India is a democracy, so no king is there. Prime Minister was present, but king was not there, and the king or at the time ruled alone. But in Gana Sangha, all the members, like today's all the ministers, today India have different ministers for different departments, and also a house is called parliament, where all the representative of your locality, okay, called MPs, they gathered and make rules and discussed how to rule, how to administer our country. In the similar way, at the time, a group of people, they gathered and discussed how and they run the country. Such as in India, different ministers present: defense minister, finance minister, foreign minister, okay, home minister, different minister, the industry, minister of industry, okay, ministry of tourism, different ministers are there, education ministry. So in this way, at the time also, different people, they gathered and discussed about something and ruled the Gana or Sangha. And the member of the Gana Sangha, the Rajas, performed rituals together. They not perform ritual alone. Such as in Magadha, they performed the rituals like Ashwamedha alone, and other Rajas, they were invited to just see the functions and rituals, just observe. But in this case, they performed the rituals together, and they also met in assemblies like today's assemblies, our parliament, and decided that what had to be done and how, through discussion and debate. For example, if they were attacked by an enemy, so they met to discuss that what should be done to meet the threat. However, women dasas and kammakaras could not participate in these assemblies. Tanaz, the Bihar, actually the name Bihar is came from, Bihar means a serene or monastery, Buddhist monastery. They are called Bihar, Bodh Bihar. So in this way, the name is Bihar came from, because Nalanda, the Bodh Bihar was present, or university was present at the time. So from that Nalanda, it was came Bihar. Lot of Bihars are present. So that's why the name of the state was Bihar, is Bihar. Okay. And the today's Bihar is not only under a certain Mahajanapada. They are under various Mahajanapadas, such as Vajji, such as the Vajji, the Mithila, that Magadha, okay, and some part of Anga. So this, all these Mahajanapadas, they situated in some part of Bihar. Okay. Okay, it is 30. Sorry, it is not clear. Okay. Okay, Ananya, you are late, but follow this. I hope you will understand. So both the Buddha and Mahavira, they both born in this type of Gana Sangha. Okay. They belong to Licchavi Gana. Okay, Licchavi is a Gana Sangha state at the time, and they both born on these Licchavi Gana Sangha. And some of the most vivid descriptions of life in the Sanghas can be found in Buddhist books. Okay, such as Mahavansh, Dibvansh, etc. A lot of books are there. Tripitak, so the holy text of the Buddhists. So on those books, a lot of Gana Sanghas mentioned. So there is an account given in page number 62 in old book and 54, I think, in new book. And this is mentioned that this is an account of the Bajjis from the Digha Nikaya, and a Buddhist book. And in Digha Nikaya mentioned that, which contains some of the speeches of Buddha. These were written down about 2300 years ago. Yes, page number 54. So Ajatasattu and the Bajjis, there is a conflict between Ajatasattu, the ruler of Magadha, and the Bajjis Gana Sangha. So what happened at the time, that Ajatasattu wanted to attack the Bajjis, and he sent his minister named Bhaskara to the Buddha to get his advice on this matter. But the Buddha asked whether the Bajjis met frequently in the full assemblies. When he heard that they did, he replied that the Bajjis would continue to prosper as long as, number one, they held full and frequent public assemblies. Number two, they met and acted together. Number three, they followed established rulers. Number four, they respected, supported, and listened to the elders. Number five, Bajji women were not held by force or captured. Number six, Chaitya or local sirenes, means small temples or monasteries were maintained in both towns and villages. 7 wise saints, 8 wise saints who followed different beliefs were respected and allowed to enter and leave the country freely. So these are the 7 steps mentioned by Buddha to Bhaskara to continue to for the prosperity of Bajji. Okay. For the prosperity of Bajji. These are the 7 steps mentioned by the Buddha, okay, to the Bhaskara, the minister of Ajatasattu. And they also followed the Buddhism. So in this way, Rajas of powerful kingdoms tried to conquer the Sanghas. Nevertheless, this lasted for a very long time, till about 1500 years ago. So those Gana Sanghas, they exist from 2500 years to years ago. Okay. So almost 1000 years they exist, those Gana Sanghas. And when the last Ganas or Sanghas attacked by the Gupta rulers, okay, and after that all the small Mahajanapadas and territories came under the Gupta dynasty. So you will read more about Gupta dynasty in chapter number 11 of your history book. Okay students, so that's all from the Mahajanapadas, the kingdoms, kings and the early republic chapter. So if you have any doubt or question, you can tell me from that subunit. Okay, then I will tell you about a small portion, that is elsewhere portion. So what happened elsewhere except Indian subcontinent? This is a story we are discussing. Okay, that is the story of India. Now what happened elsewhere? Find Greece and Athens in your atlas. If you check your atlas, atlas means a huge, the book contains various maps. So in atlas around 2500 years ago, you can see that the people of Athens set up a form of government which was called a democracy, and which lasted for about 200 years. It is quite similar than the Gana Sangha rule. Okay, and all free men over the age of 30 were recognized as full citizens in these countries, in Athens, in Greece. And there was an assembly that met at least 40 times a year, decide on important matters and how to rule the government. And all citizens could attend these meetings. They were allowed to participate on these meetings, and appointments for many positions, such as today's we have lot of ministers, that the appointment of for many positions were made through lottery. But today we are electing our representative through vote. We have voting right. You read about in civics book. Okay, but in this case they made their representative through lottery, and all these who wanted to be chosen gave in their names in a inside a pot, in a paper, or in some other objects, in a piece of cloth. So then some were selected through lottery. So one name is just picked out from the pot and declared as a member or given any particular position. So citizens were expected to serve in the army and the navy, and also all the citizens were expected to serve in army and navy when required. However, women were not considered as citizens. Also, many foreigners who lived and worked in Athens as merchants and artisans or craftspersons did not have rights as citizens, because they came from outside country. They just worked and lived. Okay, such as lot of foreigners, they lived also in India. They came here and for their work, for working here, or for traveling or other purposes. So they are not allowed to vote in India. In the similar way, at the time in Athens also, in Greece also, the foreigners and the craftspersons, like today's engineers and the women, they are not allowed to vote. Besides, there were several thousands slaves in Athens who worked in many mines, fields, household and workplaces or workshops, and they too were not treated as citizens. And the slaves, you know what, who were called slaves? They were captured after the war from any other neighboring or defeated countries, and they were appointed on those sectors for work, like mines, fields, agricultural field, household, for household stuffs, and workshops. Okay, so this is the story of Greece and Athens. But there's a question arise. Do you think that this was a true democracy, that where slave women were not allowed to vote? Yes. Yes, Meghumita, it is not a true democracy, because the two democracies like India, where everyone, the poor and poorest person, they also can vote. The women, the children, not children, the women as well as the people, the workers, they can vote. And slave was not here. The concept of slavery is not present in India, and it is a punishable offense. Okay, slavery is not allowed in India. You have to pay for any work, certain work. Okay, you can hire people, you can hire workers, they work for you, but you have to pay. Without payment, forcefully, it was not allowed to appoint anyone in any type of work. Yes, no, that slavery is a very bad practice. Slavery means just forcefully appoint someone for some work, not paid. The slaves were just gave food and shelter, but very bad food and bad shelter, like the prisoners. Okay, so slavery is abolished in today's world in most of the countries. In almost from all countries, slavery is abolished. It is a concept present in ancient world as well as in medieval world. Okay, so that's all, students. So in this way, the Mahajanapadas and the Ganasanghas, they exist 2500 years ago on the and emerged in the bank of river Ganga, and these Mahajanapadas and Ganasanghas later turned into big empire. And okay, thank you. So that's all from today's class. Next day I'll give you the question and answers tomorrow. Okay, from this chapter, and your syllabus is completed here. I'm completing your syllabus, your discussions from chapter 5. So after few days I will start again and next chapters. So term 1 chapters completed.